Hello and good evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are in the world, and welcome to my webinar, which is about the economy of the future. Now, thank you everyone for coming in today. Really appreciate you all taking the time to jump onto this call. I know there's a few of you who are heavily interested in what's going on in the economy right now. And I've just been joined by Harvey. So I just want to make sure that everyone can hear me. So if you could just drop your comments in the box, let me know you're here, say hello. It'd be nice to just hear, don't be shy, guys. Drop a comment, say hello, and let's just welcome people into the room. Harvey, I don't know if your mic is on. I can't hear or see anything, but I'll let you sort that out in the meantime.
Hello, I think my mic is on.
Oh, brilliant. Yes, I can hear you. How are you?
Brilliant. I'm very well, thank you, Victoria, and how are you?
Good. Okay, I'm good, thank you. So I've just got a hello from Fiona. Hi, Fiona. Thanks for joining us on the call. So right, guys. So I'm gonna get into it really. Obviously I know there's a few more people coming into the call, but we want to start because I know you guys are really excited. Oh, hi, I can see you. Hi, Harvey.
Hello.
Yeah, so really want to get into it, guys. So I've called this webinar because I have something that I truly believe that people need to know about, mainly because a lot of us can see what's going on economically. We are losing industries, never mind jobs, whole industries are going, and it's displacing a lot of people out of work. And for myself, I've been self-employed since I was 26, so I left the workplace or the work employment place for a while, and I've been self-employed and I've tried different things, and I've constantly worked with investors, people who make their money work for them. And we're in a time now where it is so much easier than it ever has been before. So give it 10 years ago, you would need 250 grand, 50 grand even to start entering into the financial markets. And now it's much easier for people to leverage their money through the likes of cryptocurrencies, through the likes of Forex, stocks, shares, and other securities. So we're going to be talking about that today, guys. And I've brought Harvey on today because Harvey is somebody that I truly respect in terms of his understanding and his knowledge and his foresight, which a lot of us, which I share about the economy of the future. So I've just seen some of the people saying hello. So let me acknowledge you. I see Nicholas, I see Paul and Fabian. Fabian and Sam, nice to see you guys. So Harvey, welcome. Thank you for being here. So I wanted to start. I just want you to tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, thank you. Great to be on here, guys. And a little bit about myself. Well, I've been working in the technology field now for almost 30 years. So I started in 1989. I started at the University of Leicester, and the internet was not a thing at that point. And I worked in the geology department where I did my studying for 2 years. I then moved on to the computer centre, which was a service within the university, worked there for 5 years. And then after that, so it was 7 years in total at the university, it took me to about mid-90s. And I then went and worked for the company that supplied the finance system to the university. It's a software house. So it was a trek up and down the motorway every day. And after that, I moved into healthcare packaging, really, but as a network support analyst. And just when the millennium turned, I was working on a project in Birmingham, in the city of Birmingham. It's called Millennium Point, if anybody knows it. It's a science and discovery park. So I was on the technical project side of the whole project. Huge project it was. I think it was funded by Lottery Cash at the time. So my memory doesn't serve me that well. It was a long time ago. And then after that, I came back into industry to manage technology. And worked for a very large privately owned company. It was Leicestershire's, I still believe it still is, Leicestershire's and Cornwall's largest private employer. They manufacture a very famous pasty that you find in a lot of a lot of stores. So they made food for all the big supermarkets, their own brand as well. So supermarket own brands, as well as they had high value brands. And then after that, I did that for 3 years. So this took me to about 2003, and I delved into starting up my own business. And I needed a lot of capital back then. I did that for, well, up until 2008. So that was about 5 years. It was best part of almost 6 years, 5.5, 6 years. And that really hit me. Two reasons, really. One was Amazon, and so the internet. And the other one was basically the recession. Recession kicked in about 2008. I mean, you started to feel it about 2006 onwards, really. And then after that, obviously in technology, it's one of those fields where your skills are very, very quickly outdated because technology moves so quick. You know, I had a conversation once with a financial director at one of my workplaces and said, oh, we've got to learn all this new stuff at the end of the year. And I said, well, we've got to learn new stuff every 2 or 3 weeks, you know, in technology. He said, yeah, I do feel sorry for you. But anyway, going back to the story, I kind of retrained. So I had to retrain after my business went down the pan, I would say. And it took with it hundreds of thousands of pounds. So that was a big hit. I had 2 children in education, which I was paying for. I kept them there. It was very, very tough. But I went and did a whole bunch of retraining. It costed about £20,000. And that involved 17 Microsoft exams, a Cisco exam. I got myself a role as a technology manager with a company 30 odd miles away from where I live, another trek up the motorway in a different direction this time. And now I work with blue chip retail clients and supporting technology. And also, as well as that, I'm working with a fintech company based in Canary Wharf, and some really interesting projects like this ring that I'm wearing, which is a Visa. I don't think you'll be able to see it in there in the camera, but I will try and find it. It's kind of getting fainter, but there it is. I don't think you'll see the word Visa. It's on the inside of the ring. You may just be able to make it out. But anyway, that's a Visa payment ring. It's just like your contactless card, but you just go to a PDQ where you'd insert your card or hit your contactless card, and you place your hand on it, and off you go. You've made a payment to pay for goods and services for up to £30. So, you know, got lots of projects going on at the moment, Victoria.
So you're kind of heavily engaged in financial technology. Fintech is sort of your sector in technology as a whole. And it's interesting because your story of having to basically retrain yourself after the 2008 crisis, which you know affected so many people, including myself. I mean, I was only 21 at the time. However, I was a young entrepreneur, and I remember I had an office. I used to rent a desk, and one of the guys across from me, he was a financial advisor, and I never forget. There was a morning I woke up and he was walked in, and he was literally crying. Like his clients had literally lost like hundreds of thousands of pounds in one day. It was just a really, really bad time. And so a lot of people not only lost jobs, they lost their income, and obviously you've been a victim of that yourself. So moving on, with 10 years forward from that point,
yes,
what is going on? Would you say what is going on in the global economy right now?
Wow, that's a hell of a question. If I knew exactly, I'd probably be a very, very, very rich man. But I think there's a short answer to it. And, you know, the short answer really, to surmise it, is jobs are getting scarcer. And that's just to surmise it. But I think there's 2 real reasons for that. And I think you'll all agree. The first one is that the world population is increasing. Okay. The mainstay for that is the fact that we're living longer. Okay. So we have access to better healthcare and just better lifestyle. And we don't work as hard, for example, in a field for 12 hours a day and eat, you know, just bread. We've got access to more, you know, varied foods, etc., and better medicine or better healthcare, like I said. So that's one reason the population is growing, and I think the second reason that jobs are becoming scarcer is that jobs are literally diminishing. So jobs are diminishing because of a number of reasons. You know, like the internet, for example. Amazon has come along, and you've got checkouts at supermarkets. So just very, very vaguely at the moment, If jobs are diminishing, we've got a rising population, there's going to be a gap. And you look at the employment or the unemployment in countries like Greece, it's 20%. That's 2 in 10 who don't have a job. In South Africa, I think it's close to 30%. So that's 3 in 10 people who don't have a job. And I think the UK's unemployment at this moment in time is at pretty much an all-time high. And so, you see jobs, and what have we just seen very lately? Maplins, Toys R Us. In fact, Coca-Cola are looking at automating packaging plants or bottling plants in Northamptonshire. So there are jobs there, up to 2,000 jobs. Now, I saw something today, very, very recent, just today. It was an article in Computer Weekly from the 12th of this month. And Pepsi Cola have got an automated robot which is doing primary interviews over telephone interviews. And that was shocking. I think it's called Robot Vera. It's a Russian startup. And it can do a humongous amount of interviews, something that would take a human being 9 weeks to do. And it can do it in, I think it's 12 hours. So, you can see how jobs are diminishing with big companies. And, if you think about it, I mean, it's quite a long answer to this, really. But in the early 1900s, I think, if you take horses, for example, while we're talking about horses, because I think it relates to human beings, they were doing all the hard labour in fields and pulling carts, delivering milk, that kind of thing. And at the turn of the century, or the 19th century, 1900s, should I say, not the turn of this century, because we've moved on, haven't we? There were probably around about 25 million working horses. In 1960s, there was recorded 3 million working horses. Now, we've moved on from there, from the 1960s, and another 58 years, and 58 years. And, I don't know what the number of horses is now, but if you look at that, what's replaced the horse? The combustion engine. Okay.
Yeah.
But what's going to replace some of the jobs we're doing? We're not talking about blue-collar jobs, i.e. manual labour. Yeah. We're talking about white-collar jobs, etc. So we'll get into that in a moment. But let's just take an example of technology. We know the population is rising. Okay, I think it rises by about, it's a fair bit. I think it's 88 million a year or something like that. But that's because people are living longer, dying less frequently, and being born quicker as well. So even though people in developed countries are having less children than there were, a century ago. Okay. So, but the fact that people are living longer is causing us to have more people on the planet at any one time than we have in the past. So let's take, for example, something I watched or read in a book and watched in a short video many, many years ago. It's an example of 10 people and then marooned on a desert island. So they've got no way of getting off this island, shark-infested waters, etc. So their sole job is to fish for 2 fish a day. One for the early morning and one for late afternoon. And then, they do their thing, build a shelter or whatever. There's 10 people on this island, and they're basically got a stick with a string, and they're sitting there fishing. Once they've caught their 2 fish, their job for the day is done. Now, let's imagine a missionary comes along on a boat, just a rowing boat, and he has a net with him. And he says to people, hey guys, you're fishing quite primitive here with a stick and a piece of string. What you need is this net, and I'll help you build a raft. So he builds a raft, and he says to the guys, you're going to have to get on this raft, go out into the sea, cast your net, and you'll be able to catch lots of fish all in one go, and you can bring them back. So the missionary goes off, and these 10 people have now got a raft and a net. Now, instead of 10 people fishing, 2 people are required because they've got some technology in terms of the raft and the net. They go out, one needs to navigate the raft, and the other one throws the net out, brings the net in, and he catches 20 fish in one go. And in fact, the job is done in an hour. It doesn't take them half a day or all day to sit there catching fish, which was their only occupation. What's happened? You've got 80% unemployment now on that island because 2 people are basically doing the job of 10 far more efficiently. And that's just a raft and a net. Look where technology is now. You've got... Yeah, go on, sorry.
No, I was going to say, because I think you're going to go into it, and I want you to continue, but yeah, continue.
Yeah, sure. So as you said, it's now much easier to get involved in various, opportunities, especially in the financial markets. We've all got these things. We've all got phones, and they're now connected in a ubiquitous fashion. We've got constant internet everywhere. So let's have a think about this. This phone here has got more computing power than the Apollo spacecraft's landing navigation computer. Here, right in my hand. Children have got these as young as 10 and younger, probably, smartphones. They're connected to the internet, and they've got access to information so much quicker and so much more information than presidents of countries had 30 years ago. Chiefs of staff had 25, 30 years ago. There's your opportunity. You're connected. You can get the answer for almost anything very, very quickly, which is why people are rapidly innovating things, because collaboration is so much quicker through the internet and through mobile devices. This is basically a digital limb, isn't it?
Exactly. And I think we've got to this stage, because there was a theory that came out in the 1970s that there is enough, back then, this is the 1970s, there's enough technology in the world to solve all the world's problems, right? That was in the 1970s. Yeah, there's enough technology, but we're just in a situation where, because we have this sort of profit-driven capitalist society, it's very much about, if we can do it cheaper and better, we're going to sort of, get the people kind of don't matter, if that makes sense. We will lay people off because now we can use robotics, or now we can use AI, or now we can use e-commerce or automation. So and this is why, like, what we're talking about and what we're going to sort of present to the audience. So guys, I want you to stay to the end of this call, because there is some stuff that we're going to give away. We're going to give you away a blueprint. You'll know a little bit more why it's going to be valuable shortly, but just hang fire, because we're going somewhere with this. Because for those who follow me and who's watches me post on Facebook, I am constantly trying to kind of wake people up, and not in a way where it's like, oh my God, this is happening, the sky's falling down. But this is just the reality of times changing, and there are so many options for people to make an income and make money that doesn't require you working 40 hours a week. I've been doing this for 6 years myself, different ways. I have online products that I sell. I do coaching, I do consulting, I trade. There's just many ways to make money. And the problem is because if you don't have the skills or you don't have the knowledge, then obviously you're going to stick with what you know, which is your 9-to-5 job. And I know a lot of people who are coming in. Welcome to everyone who's coming in. I know a few more people are coming into the call, but a lot of you who have come onto this call obviously want something different. And obviously you see that we're in a position, or we're in a state of time. Economically, it's not great. Families are getting more squeezed because the cost of living is continually going up. Your wages are not moving, and your jobs are going. The jobs are going. So it's almost a necessity that people become aware of what is really happening, but also what you can do to circumvent. Because I'm telling you right now, there are people who are making $4,000, $5,000, $10,000 a day just through the internet. Because again, whilst technology replaces one thing, it gives us an opportunity for another. And Harvey, I really want to get your feedback on, what do you think the future will look like? Well, just going back actually a bit further, because we're talking about jobs at the minute, and jobs going, and we looked at retail. We looked at the retail sector, so we all see a lot of jobs going in that sector. I mean, what other areas do you see, or can you see, being impacted by things like AI, blockchain, robotics, automation, and those things?
Okay. I mean, just to go back again, just a tiny little bit, when you mentioned, there's enough computer power to solve all the world's problems. Well, there's enough food to go around to feed all the world as well. Okay. And we throw so much away in this part of the world, etc. And we can't get it over there because there aren't solutions to get our overconsumption to the people who really need it. And that's core, and that's so key. People are dying because they can't put food into their stomach. And just like that, you talked about greed. And the reason that technology is replacing jobs is because we're in a connected global marketplace. Okay, we can buy stuff from China, we can buy it from America, we can buy it from India, we can buy it from Africa. And the global connected marketplace has players like China who can offer products and services, products in China far cheaper than they are manufactured in the West because of the minimum wage, etc. And services from places like India, because the labor costs there, £100 a month is a lot of money in India, for example, and various other parts of the world. And those people are professionals that have done degrees, they're working for professional companies, which is why Google, Dell, Microsoft are all over in countries like India, and low-cost call centers in countries like the Far East, or areas like the Far East. And that is because it's a globally connected marketplace. So why does the employer potentially not really care about it? I'm sure there's lots of employers out there care about their staff, and I'm sure. And I work for one as well. I work with one as well. And they don't, because it's all about the bottom line. It's about being competitive in this global marketplace. A robot or a computer doesn't want a tea break, doesn't want maternity or paternity leave, doesn't need to go to the loo or have a coffee break or a lunch break, doesn't get sick, requires an engineer to come and do whatever. Or you can buy two. One fails, the other one kicks in. You've got resilience. With human beings, you have in sales roles, in retail shops, for example, you might have a 40-hour contract split amongst 3 people. The reason they want that is to have those 3 people in when the seasonal highs come in, Christmas, etc., and then just give them 15 hours each or 12 hours each, because they've got 3 people and one they'll call upon if the other one is sick, kind of thing. So all of this is happening, and it helps on national insurance and saves money. It's always about the bottom line. Business is in business for what reason? To make money. It doesn't care about if it can replace a human being with something that's far more efficient and costs less over time. There's a return on investment. It'll do that. But as you said, you mentioned a couple of areas there. You mentioned robotics. You mentioned artificial intelligence. You mentioned machine learning, I think. And did you say blockchain? All these areas are basically, areas that all the big companies are in. I mean, Google's doing machine learning at the moment. I think they have the DeepMind project, or Alpha 1. And it is basically, it's like thinking on emotion. And, when you've got things like lots of connected devices, something called the Internet of Things, IoT, where information is being passed on, very, very quickly, and it's being gathered by sensors and cameras all over the place. And NHS is a big user of IoT. It's looking to pass information very, very quickly across various practices and various other NHS departments across the country for patient data and saving people's lives. Sometimes it's time that allows us to save somebody's life, etc. But I think, what your question was about was, what will it be like, I guess, without jobs? Well, so the internet has come and has affected retail in a big way. Now there's 5 big market verticals. You've got retail, you've got education, you've got healthcare, travel and tourism, and finance. Okay, retail's been hit massively by the internet. We've seen that. High street shops are closing, etc. But travel and tourism has been hit hugely by the internet. You can book an airline ticket, book a hotel, check in online, hire a car, and everything is done online now. You don't have to go to a travel agent, don't need that experience. Education, the internet, your distance learning, you record, recorded courses. You don't need so many professors in all the institutions. Institutions have now got certified courses which you can do a distance course on through video content learning. Classrooms have computers, they're all connected. Every student has an email account. So technology is helping them, learn faster and quicker, I guess. So, robotics, surgeons, there are robotic surgeons now that don't get tired. They don't do a 14-hour shift and get tired. They basically come in and be very precise, do the operation and move on to the next patient. And artificial intelligence, self-driving cars. Tesla have created a self-driving lorry that can load itself as well. So there you go. Amazon's got robotic warehouses. self-driving lorries. In fact, Amazon were talking about getting drones to deliver your parcel in the future.
Drone shipping, yeah, I've seen that.
Drone, yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And, you know, the blockchain, we've not talked about this. This is bigger than the internet.
Exactly.
You know, this is much bigger than the internet. And guys, just to rewind a little bit, let's have a think about this. Benjamin Franklin, I think it was about the 1750s when he did the kite experiment and discovered that lightning carried electricity. It was in the late 1800s when Thomas Edison, 1880, I think it was when Thomas Edison, he actually created the incandescent light bulb. So it took about 120, 30 years for electricity to have a real use case for it. Mm-hmm. Now, that was then. Then in 1903, there were two very famous brothers called the Wright brothers, and they did the first controlled flight. Nobody died in this. The plane actually took off, flew 4 miles, and landed safely. And that was amazing because everybody else's attempt generally ended in disaster. And in 1903, Victoria, if I said to you, you know what, in just over 50 years' time, we are going to be flying in a lump of metal that weighs 200,000 tons. It's going to be flying at 500,000 miles an hour. And there's going to be 200 of us flying on this. You'd have probably kicked me to the floor and said, oh, shut up, that's witchcraft. And what happened in 1954? The first commercial airliner took off. It was a de Havilland Comet. It took off from Heathrow, landed in Johannesburg, but it made about 11 stops because it needed refueling. But now planes, the first flight has only just taken place, hasn't it, from Australia to Heathrow, I believe it was, non-stop. So look how technology moves on. You know, and what I'm saying is the rate of innovation was quite slow. So then in the early 80s, you've got ARPANET, a defense ministry organization of the American Defense Ministry. They connected 10,000 computers together in the early 80s. And then Tim Berners-Lee in the late 80s, 89, created the World Wide Web. Okay, so technology, then the innovation from connecting those computers in 82 to 89 was much shorter than Thomas Edison and Benjamin Franklin and all of that. So technology now, because we are connected all the time, we have an internet. I think it's Bill Gates who said, never before has there been an opportunity to do so much in short space of a time, or something along that. I should maybe pull the quote up, but I think you get it.
Yeah,
it's what you touched on earlier. Yeah,
exactly. So, I mean, so we get it. We know it's the situation. So now it's looking at the possibilities because there is so much, and even like my own personal transition from doing things. So I grew up in like the telemarketing industry where we made sales by picking up a phone or networking, and then this whole social media stuff came about, and it was like, oh, okay, and now you can connect and reach like 100 prospects in a matter of a couple of minutes, and you don't have to go through that process. So what we want to know and why I brought you onto this call is I know you have a blueprint and you've been making money online through trading, and everyone who knows me is I'm a trader as well. I trade cryptocurrencies, and I've always said, and a lot of people in my kind of banking world say this, like there is not going to be any, pretty much like, not say there's not going to be any jobs, but we're going to get to a state in civilization, in society, where technology does do a lot of the work that we would normally hire people to do, which is then going to give people a need to make income in a different way. But that income is really just to support your lifestyle so that you can just do things that you want in life instead of slaving away at a 9 to 5, because the whole reason, like, human beings have been the human resource of the world for the last forever up until this point, really. And now we're seeing a lot of people. I mean, you've got 17-year-olds that are doing like $7 million launches on their products. They're doing e-courses and selling like 10,000. I mean, when I launched my first e-course, on the first day we did about 10 grand and that was just one launch, one course. So it's really become really easy to make money from home, to make money from your laptop. And you and I are obviously both involved in trading cryptocurrencies. I know you do Forex as well, and cryptocurrency. So I know we're going to show you guys something today. We obviously have just had a little bit of talk about what's going on. And as you guys can clearly see, that we are in a time of change. And when times change, we have to change with it. Otherwise, you will get left behind. It's just as simple as that. This is just how it goes. Look at HMV, for example. Did you know that Netflix actually approached HMV before? Sorry, not HMV, Blockbuster. It was Blockbuster. Blockbuster at the time was one of the biggest corporates, biggest employers. It had 60,000 staff members. It had shops all around the world. And Netflix approached Blockbuster and they declined investing in Netflix. And by 2003, Blockbuster had gone into administration and Netflix is now $1 billion company, because they moved with the times. And we are very much like that as well. If we don't move with the times, you will be left behind, and it won't be very, very nice, because it's not going to be like, oh, well, I'm just going to get another job. You're going to have to retrain. So so this is where as everyone knows, I'm a big educator, big on education, because everything that we do or everything that we create starts with like what we think, what we're thinking of, and what we want. Now, I'm a person, I don't really necessarily like working per se. I like doing what I do in terms of, doing my webinars. I like teaching. I like creating content. That's I find those things fun. But I don't necessarily, enjoy going to a job, sitting down for an employer, working 8 hours a day. If I could make, and which is what I have done actually for myself, if I can make a set amount of money every day, every week, every month, and I can do that in 1, 2, 3 hours a day, I will take that option. I'm sure most people will. So Harvey has brought me in, and this is why I'm bringing you guys into an opportunity where you can do that through trading and investing. And personally, like, I feel, and this is just my opinion, my personal opinion, but I watch markets and I understand them pretty well, that trading is going to become an essential skill to have in the future. It's a skill of the future. And I started trading when I was 21 years old, 10 years. And I found it very difficult at that time, because when I didn't have an actual formal teacher, I was trying to teach myself online. And 10 years ago, there wasn't really much in the way of what we have now with e-learning, with groups, with mentoring and whatnot. So Harvey, I want you to introduce the guys what you've shown me and your financial blueprint to making money through trading.
Okay, excellent. Guys, I just want you to understand something before we go into this. And we talked about 5 big market verticals. Okay, we talked about retail, we talked about healthcare, education, travel and tourism, and finance. Out of all of those big market verticals, finance employs the least people. It employs 6% of all the people employed in those industries. But it turns around about 40% of the wealth of all those industries. So would you not want to be, at least if you work in any of the other industries, you're a doctor or nurse, or you work as a teacher, and that's great. You're trading your time for money, which is fantastic. It's a traditional model, which is called the 40-40 plan. You work for 40 years, 40 hours a week, and you get some money and hopefully get a pension at the end of it. But the pensions, how are they looking at the moment? Not great. So you can do something that allows you another income stream. You can work it the way you want to work it. You can work it at night, work it in the day. You can even work at the weekends. And when I say work, it only takes a small amount of time, and you can do it through your phone. Anywhere you get an internet connection and you have one with you. So that's one thing. So it's in the finance area. And when I lost hundreds of thousands of pounds, as I said earlier, after having years of work under my belt, I put all that money into a business. And in 2008, all went pop with the financial crisis and Amazon and various other internet retailers putting me out of business. I look back and that's my fault, but it was a great wake-up call, because I would have just been doing what I was doing because that's all I knew. I had to change my thing. And guys, it was almost too late for me. I almost had to pull my children out of the education and various other things, So really, don't wait till it's too late. Yeah, that sounds like a rhyme. Don't wait till it's too late. And the other thing about Netflix, the guy who created Netflix had basically a $47 bill because he returned some videos late. And because he returned these videos late, he started thinking, what can I do? And he then Netflix was born basically, and he offered Blockbuster, as you said. I can't remember the gentleman's name, but that story is an awesome story. So coming back to this, what do the banks do? They want your money and put it in a bank account. Why? Because they give you cards to pay with, contactless rings, which will be coming out soon, guys, to be able to take contactless payments and all of that. But what do they do with your money? Let's say, for example, there's 10 of us here in this call. There's more than that, but let's say there's 10 of us in this call. We all got a bar of gold. That's our wealth. And we need to put that bar of gold somewhere secure. So we go to what's called a gold bank or the goldsmiths, and we deposit our bar of gold there. Now, we've deposited our bar of gold, and we've received a receipt for that to say we own that bar of gold, and we can go and get it when we want to go and buy something like a house. So we've all got a bar of gold, 10 bars of gold sitting in the vault. I say, Victoria, I'd love to buy that house of yours. And you say, yes, Harvey, that's fine. I'm selling it. You can give me your bar of gold. The house is yours. So I said, okay, bear with me one moment. Let me go and get my bar of gold in exchange for my ticket and give you my bar of gold. And you say, well, what's the point, Harvey? Because I'm just going to get it and put it back in the vault. So why don't you just give me your ticket? So now we've done a value exchange. You've sold me a property. I've given you a piece of paper or money, which is attached to gold. And you've given me your property. We've done a value exchange. You've got 2 tickets, therefore you own 2 bars of gold. Did the gold even leave the vault? No, it didn't. And just like that, maybe in a year, 5 bars of gold never leave the vault. So the people who run the vault, the bankers, turn and say, that's an interesting idea. 5 bars of gold are always here. The others go in and out. So therefore, we can print 5 more tickets and create a loan for Harvey or Victoria or anybody else who's a great customer. Guess whose money it is? It's our money. Yeah, they leverage your money. Okay, so what? Without even going into any more detail on that, because that story can get very, very long and very interesting. I'm going to show you. I'm very yeah. So I'm without further ado, I'm just going to launch into something. So not very many weeks ago, or just over a month ago. I mean, I've been trading for some time. I've been into cryptocurrency, and that's great. The cryptocurrency is very volatile, and it was up until last week. It was at a pretty much a low after being kind of shooting up before Christmas. And cryptocurrency is great for the average person to put money into, and like a property, wait for it to grow. Cryptocurrency grows a lot faster than property goes, about 8-10% a year or whatever. But what's constantly going up and down, and we use every day, is money. So I ignored Forex trading. I ignored it. I shunned everybody and I said, no. And then I realized my crypto value was going down. So I thought, well, what do people want with crypto? What do I want? With my crypto, it's not worth anything. I need to convert it to cash to make it valuable, because we're trading in cash. I'm exchanging goods and services in cash. So cash is king as far as I'm concerned. And if you disagree with me, that's fine. But there isn't a place that won't take cash. Places don't. There are places that take various cryptocurrencies, but nobody's going to use Bitcoin. I believe, I've said this on a webinar, Tesco won't take it because it's volatile. How are the end of the year reports going to look, or their end of the year profits going to look if it goes down? Yeah, they look great if it went up. But what if it drops half the value at the end of the year? They've got less money in their bank account than they had when they exchanged, you're shopping for Bitcoin with them. So ultimately, Forex trading is what I want to tell you guys about. And I know some of you will have heard of this and have your perceptions about this, but please just hear me out for the next 20 minutes, because there will be something I'm going to share with you at the end. And also, I'm not sure, Victoria, if we can send everybody a copy of a fantastic book as well, if they decide to, if they're interested, because I'll show that interest by staying on. So ladies and gents, let me launch into this. I'm going to show you something. My son, who's 18 years old, he's my younger one, has been trading. He has been trading just over 2 weeks. So Good Friday, the Thursday before, he started his first trade. And he's been trading. And, yes, he's got quite a large account, but you certainly don't need a large account. It's something I'm going to share with you towards the end. But I'll show you there. You can probably see his profit there. It's $2,221.85. So that's actually in dollars. And that's 2 weeks of trading, because if you can see the date, that's Thursday gone last week. So tomorrow will be 3 weeks. He has made more, but he's a lazy bugger and he hasn't given me his update as to how much more he's added to that account. So he had a £5,000 account and he's added 2,200 to that. That's almost 50% in 2 weeks. Okay. So what I'm saying to him, let's see how consistent you are with that, because that's a hell of a return. It's more than the 0.5% a year you can get in the bank by a long way, and the bank's got your money. Okay, so let me share with you guys now. Victoria, this is a brand new platform for me. I guess it's the screen button where you turn screen share on. Okay.
Yeah. And then you'll
Okay. Righto. Okay. Right. I'm going to do that now, and then application window. And please let me know if you can in a second see my screen. So this is kind of shot forward.
Yep.
And let me hit. Yeah, you can see that. Can you see that as a full screen now?
Yeah, guys, if you could just let me know if you can see. Hopefully, I can see it, so I'm pretty sure everyone else can. Yeah, if you can't see, just let us know, guys.
Okay, so well, there's a company called IMarkets Live. I'd heard of this company last year, and I wish I had joined, because if I had, I would have been so much further down the road. And I just want to share this with you guys. Now, some of you, can you see that as well? Can you see Robert Kiyosaki, Victoria?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, super. It's transitioning, great.
Thanks, Fabian. Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. So Robert Kiyosaki, you may or may not have heard of him, but he has a net worth of around about 80 million, and he's written a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And Robert Kiyosaki is quite an authority on the finance, on educating people on finance that they don't teach you at school and university. Now, my son is doing a finance degree, and when I spoke to him about Robert Kiyosaki and told him about trading, he said, "We don't know any of this for the stuff we do at university, Dad." So Robert Kiyosaki has also written another book called The Cash Flow Quadrant, and in the Cash Flow Quadrant, he has this this diagram, and basically, it's the 4 types of occupations people have. Now, the first occupation, or the most common occupation, because here in the middle you can see 60% of working people around the globe are employees. Now, we've talked about jobs. This is where you're working for somebody else, and they're paying you money for your time. So you're trading your time, 40 hours a week, you're getting paid for 40 hours. If you're doing part-time, 15 to 20 hours a week, you'll get paid for 20 hours worth of work. So this is where you're working and trading your time for money and working for somebody else's business to grow. They might be making far more money off what you're making. You might be earning 12, 15, 20 pounds an hour, but they might be making 50, 60, 70 pounds an hour, charging you out at 100 pounds an hour. Okay? So you're working, building somebody else's dream, putting your 40 hours or whatever, how many hours you're doing in for them. 60% of people do that. Now, here's a self-employed person. What do self-employed people do? They trade their time for money as well. So what's the difference? Well, they generally work for themselves. So all the money they make comes to them. So they don't have a boss. They're generally the boss of the company or the outfit they're working in. So that could be a plumber or an electrician, for example. But the issue you've got here, you might work far more than 40 hours. Why? Because you might have a customer phone you up at 5 o'clock when you're about to go out for dinner with the missus or your partner, and you get a call from a brand new potential customer who could be a very big fish for you, and you have to go and spend 3 hours there and your evening's written off. And you might do that a couple of times a week. Or if you've got a friend who works with you in your business, or an employee who works for you in this business, if they don't turn up to work, you've probably got to do their work as well. So 35% of people are self-employed. Now, the guys on the left-hand side both trade their time for money. These trade their time and get paid for their money and make money for somebody else. These guys trade their time for money and make money for themselves. Now, that's the left-hand side, and the left-hand side is considered the poor side. Reason being, 95% of people, 60 plus 35 equals 95, right? Work for 5% or a share of 5% of the world's wealth. And on the right-hand side, we have 5% of people, so a much smaller amount of people, who have a share, a much bigger amount of money, have access to a bigger share of money, 95% of the world's wealth. So this is considered the rich side. So guys, we need to aim to get onto this side. And what I'm going to show you today is something that can truly get you onto both areas or both quadrants of this side. So we have business owners here. Business owners make up 4%. And what are business owners? Let's take the owner of Costa Coffee. Let's say I work in Costa Coffee and Victoria works in the same branch. We earn £10 an hour. Our wages are £20 an hour to the organisation. Let's say the overheads are £50 an hour, that's £70 in total per hour of costs to the owner of Costa. Now they're turning over £200 an hour, so they're making £130 an hour out of that Costa store after paying our wages and the costs. Now that's replicated again and again and again all over the world, in lots of cities and all over the world. So Mr. Costa is not working in a branch of Costa, is he? He's probably sitting on a beach in the Cayman Islands, or is playing golf, or building his next big dream while he's leveraging our time, because we are employees within this business. Okay, so that's a business owner. And investors, so they make up 4%. And the 1% that's left, because that's 99% for those three, are investors. And what do investors do? They make their money work for them, and they have unlimited income potential. So these guys are both on the right-hand side. They make up only 5% of people. Guys, the society is to some degree designed to keep us there. We've got to work 40 hours, 60 hours, 80 hours. So we don't have time to think to do anything else. Okay. And sometimes, like Victoria said, like what happened with me, it's too late. You know, you've lost hundreds of thousands, or you've lost your job and you can't pay your mortgage and your car and keep a roof over your head and put food on the table. So this is why we're sharing this with you now, so you can have a think about this. Okay. So 5% of people access to 95%, it's the rich side. So hopefully, I mean, I've labored on that, but I really wanted to get that point across. And I'm sorry if you're already aware of the cash flow quadrant. So what is Forex? I'm going to talk to you about a Forex trading opportunity. It's not only Forex, as you will see later on, but Forex is short for foreign exchange. It's where one currency is traded for another. So when you go on holiday, you might take pounds and convert them to euros or dollars. It depends where you're going. You'll need the local currency, and you get charged a rate for that. Say, take a commission, and there is a certain rate that a dollar might be worth today, tomorrow, yesterday, in terms of its relation to the pound. So when you come back, you might have some dollars. Let's say you went to America, you exchange some dollars, and you come back and you want to exchange the dollars for pounds, because dollars are no use here, right? So you do that, and then you get charged another commission. So great, isn't it? The companies that supply you access to money charge you at every opportunity. So do you think just everybody going on holiday makes up for the $5.3 trillion a day? The Forex market, guys, just think about that. Isn't millions, it's not billions. Trillion is a huge number. Please look up how big trillion is. Trillion is a phenomenal number. 5.3 trillion a day, that's massive. If you could get a tiny, tiny, tiny slice of that, that'd be a lot of money. So 5.3 trillion a day isn't really done just by us exchanging holiday money. Let's say I'm in the UK, there's a dealership for BMW called Sytner. Now, let's say I'm sitting in the UK and I've ordered £100 million worth of BMWs from BMW in Germany. Now, I've paid them. Now, BMW in Germany have £100 million. They don't want pounds, they want euros. So they throw onto the market, or their bank puts onto the market, sells £100 million. And they have a demand now for 110 million euros. So what happens to the price in supply and demand? When there's a supply or an oversupply of something, the price generally drops down a bit or a lot, and the price goes up if there's a demand. And large business transactions like that every day all around the world in the global economy cause the Forex markets to go up and down. So currencies like GBP, Great British Pound, Euro, USD, Japanese yen, Australian dollar, Canadian dollar, Swiss franc, and all these currencies to move up and down, so to create movement in the market. And what Forex allows you to do is to capitalize on those movements. How can you do that? You can trade on any device. So, okay, just a quick illustration. This is 5.3 trillion a day. This is a foreign exchange market globally. That's a day.
Really quickly, sorry, because I know I've got some crypto individuals on here that, you know, want to learn how to trade crypto. And I just wanted to add to this, and this is why this is valuable. Learning Forex, you would need to learn Forex markets first before you, well, I say first, but understanding and getting involved in the Forex market is vital, because if you compare 5.3 trillion being traded daily to 30 billion in crypto market, there's no comparison. So I just wanted to distinguish that, just for those who are thinking, well, you know, I want to trade crypto and whatnot. That's all good, but we're looking at
absolutely.
this particular market because it's one of the biggest markets. If you want to trade currencies, this is the market. And you can also then use your skills to then better profit from the crypto market. So sorry for interjecting, but I just have to say
No, that's a
guy.
very, very good point, because I'm a crypto guy as well, like yourself, Victoria. And this is the biggest market in the world. It's on the face of this planet. So as far as we know, it could be the entire universe, but I'm not sure about that. So it's 5.3 trillion a day. I think just before Christmas, the crypto market got to about 730 billion. And then in January, it dropped to about 500. I haven't looked at the crypto market as of late, but it's hovering somewhere around 380 to 480 billion. And so what happened with all that money, that 780 billion? The people took it out and put it back into fiat currency, i.e. normal currencies. Fiat is a Latin word for as it shall be, which means just as it is. And normal currencies are considered fiat currencies, like the car, F-A-I-T. So all that 780 billion, or whatever it was, has come back, and about 300 billion has been wiped off that. It's come back into normal currencies. So I still stand by the fact that cash is king. Even if you have cryptocurrency and you want to cash it in, you cash it in exchange for money. Okay. So just going back to this, the New York Stock Exchange is looking about this big at 28 billion a, 5.3 trillion is huge. It's massive. Okay, guys. So there's a company called IMarkets Live. And what do? They provide you first-class Forex education. So I, along with many other people, may have gone on to a Forex course. 3 days or 2 days after about 2 or 3, 4, 5,000 upwards, you've parted with to go on a couple of days worth of course. They're about 8 to 10 hour days, and they really fry your brain. You start with learning the very basics to going to trade with real money, and that's quite scary, because how can you learn something that great traders have taken years to learn, and start to play with real money? It's very emotional. It's very emotionally engaging, and when you have emotion involved, you tend to potentially can make more mistakes. So what do these guys provide? First-class Forex education for a fraction of what you would pay for a course. And guess what? It's not 3 days. You do it in your own time. You can rewind it, watch it. There's a complete support system around it. It's not like you've paid for a 3-day course, you've got 30 days email support, and goodbye. You're on your own after that. You come back for 1 day just to have a chat with somebody. Well, with this, you're constantly supported around the clock. So that they provide first-class Forex education, but that's not enough. Just education's not enough, because it would take a long time. For somebody like me, who doesn't get it first time, I'd have to read the same chapter 10 times or the same paragraph 10 times. This could take me a long time, but they provide you software. Now, what does this software do? It's basically artificial intelligence that's helping you become a very effective trader. Just look at how technology has moved us on, okay? And look how there was a guy in the 1990s, 1998, Gary Kasparov, the best chess player in the world, and he was outdone by Deep Blue, which was a software and computer put together by IBM in 1998. So what you're getting here is like the chess moves. You're getting information telling you where to trade, when to trade, how big a trade to put in, which currency pair to trade, okay? And you're getting additional software on top of that, which allows you to become very, very profitable. Now, I want to say one thing, guys. There's a saying, and I love this saying, it's give a man a fish and he or she can eat for a day. But if you teach a man how to fish, he can eat for the rest of his life. So what this company does, it provides you information, i.e. they're giving you a fish, but they also provide you the education that allows you to learn to fish yourself later on. Okay, so you can earn while you learn. Sorry?
Exactly. I was just going to just re-emphasize on that point, because I think it's so pertinent, and I hope you don't mind me interjecting a little bit.
Not at all.
And I just want you guys to understand that this is using technology, like using technology for your benefit, using already existing trades or swipe trades, so that you can literally mimic what some of the best traders are doing, without having to spend 20 years being the best trader. Although the education is still needed, because you're still going to need some level of knowing what a pip is, knowing how the charts move, which I know a lot of the guys that did my course, this was where you guys kind of fell short or really wanted to understand. But the value, and I know you're going to continue, but I just want to let you guys know that this is, and I said this on a post, employers are replacing you with technology. Are you replacing your employers with technology? And this is a perfect example of how you do that. I'll let you continue, Harvey.
No, absolutely. You're utilizing technology, high-end technology, to help you become a trader, and you're using the education to help you gain knowledge of that environment as well. But you can get a fish every day, or multiple fishes. You get multiple trade signals, which you just copy and paste. But I'll come on to that in a moment. So the company was founded on Independence Day, I believe that is, in 2013. It operates in 120 countries. The company is debt-free. It's privately owned, and there aren't any third-party services. So everything they provide, the education, all the various patented software, and everything they provide you is basically owned by them. So they're not relying on a third party for that. So this is the corporate leadership. Now, this is very interesting, guys. There's a guy called Christopher Terry. He is a trader with about 23 years of experience in the markets. He's managed funds that were 50 million plus. And his net worth is around about 70 to 80 million, possibly more, possibly more. Okay, because these guys never tell you how much their net worth is, do they? But anyway, he's the CEO of the company, and he's married to this lovely lady called Isis Della Torre. Now, she owns various trading licenses for Wall Street trading. Now, she's a wolf of Wall Street and has managed hedge funds and banks in the Americas. So she is now married to Chris Terry, and their vision was to bring Wall Street to your street. Okay, and this is what they've done with IMarkets Live, and that's very, very powerful. Wall Street to your street. They can give you a fish to eat every day, and they can teach you to fish so that you can future-proof your skills. Okay, in a diminishing job market, what we talked about in the first half of this presentation, webinar. So they've also brought this guy on very recently, Alex Morton. He was a great network marketing professional, 24 years old and a millionaire at that age. He's now a multimillionaire at the age of 28. And he is on board, and he does 7-figure mentorship webinars with everybody who's on board with IMR. And they're fantastic. And if you miss them because they're in EST or New York time, they record them and you can watch them at a later date when it's more convenient. And again, Ivan Tapia, he's the Vice President of Sales, again, a very accomplished businessman, and great to have these kind of people on board steering this company. There will be lots of questions, I'm sure. I'm going to try and answer what I assume will be the most obvious questions, guys. So what makes them unique? Well, firstly, results for the services are not guaranteed. And then you can say, oh, well, here we go. They're not guaranteeing you anything. Well, does the gym guarantee you anything? When you go to the gym, does it mean you're going to have the physique of your dreams? No, it doesn't. It means you've just picked up a vehicle that could make you the physique of your dreams, or whatever your goals are in the gym to get fitter or what have you. But if you don't go there and use the equipment there, and possibly might need some guidance from a personal trainer or follow a program, you're not going to get the results. So just having a gym membership doesn't make you any fitter, any better, or any stronger. Okay, so IMarkets Live, like that, is an education provider and a software services provider. So software as a service, okay, subscription-based software service, and an education provider. And IMarkets Live, now this is really important, does not trade your money. You trade your money. The money, any money you trade, any real money you trade, is in your hands. It's in a broker account, which is like a bank account, and only you have the keys to that account, and you can withdraw those funds or add to those funds anytime you like. It's not a scam. So many people say this is a scam. Your money is not put into something and is tied up so you can't access it. No, your money is put in a broker account, and you go for a UK regulated broker, well, you can get your money out instantly, straight back to your bank account, and you can add more money into it, okay? So IMarkets Live does not trade your money or handle investments, because to handle investments, you have to have various regulations. Now imagine IMarkets Live trying to be regulated in the 120 countries they're in. Can you imagine? They'd need a complete team of people, finance and lawyers, to deal with all the regulations. So they just provide you the education and the tools, guys, the tools, okay, to be very, very profitable in this industry. IMarkets Live does not earn on your trade, so you pay them nothing for winning trades. You just pay for the services they provide you, and you can enter and exit trades at any time. Which means if you're in profit, you can hit the profit button now and take your cash out. So the objective here is to empower, enrich, and educate. Now let's just look at this. Empower. How do they empower you? They empower you by feeding you a fish a day. They send you signals, which we'll come to in a moment, where professional traders are sending you trade alerts. They're telling you, go into the market with this information, and you should win. And then they enrich and educate. So then they're teaching you how to fish. So they're giving you education and software tools to help you become better and leaner and meaner in this industry. So what do they offer? First, they offer an academy. Okay, so there's 60 plus videos in multiple languages. It goes from basic to advanced, and you're learning from expert traders, not just theorists. Expert traders got years of experience. This is what it looks like. So you have various, so this is in Basics 1, module called Basics 1. There's 6 videos. They're about 10, 11 minutes each. So nugget-sized videos, so that's about hours worth of video course there. And then you move on to Basics 2, etc. But look, you go on to market geometry and technical analysis and chart analysis. These are real high-end kind of education and learnings that you get within the video course here. So there's 60 plus hours worth of training there, and you can take the time or do it as quick as you want. Secondly, they offer IMarkets Live TV. So you've got your classroom-based training or your video-based classroom-style training. You've now got IMarkets Live TV. Now, what is IMarkets Live TV? This is where you cement the education you've learned. So there's over 120 hours of live Forex and crypto education per week. So it's a live TV channel. They do have it on demand. So if you can't make any of the sessions you want or any of the programs you want, you can watch them whenever you want. It's in multiple languages. Again, there are lots of trading sessions throughout the day, and they record it, which I've just covered. So what are trading sessions? So basically, with these guys, you can sit and watch traders trading. Okay. So here in the English channel of the IMarkets Live TV, we've got another gentleman with the name Christopher, but this time Christopher Derrick. He is a trader in London, and you can watch him trade. Now, he shares his screen, so it's basically like a camera over his shoulder, but he shares his screen and talks you through the trades he's putting in, why he's putting those trades in, and what he's analysed. So once you've done a bit of education, you start to understand the terminology, you can start to really get into the skin of things by watching and sitting with professional traders. And this is great. And you know what? You can interact with them. There's a chat facility. You can start to interact with them. And it's not just London. You've got the New York session. This guy's great, Lex Waves. And you can watch these guys and you can really start to cement that education. Okay, it's nothing like doing and watching. So here's something really cool. And this is what really got me into IMarkets Live. So I'm a crypto kind of guy. I'm becoming quite fiat now, all right? Normal cash is king. I'm going to keep saying that. But crypto channel, Forex works with the banks because it's regulated. Currency regulated by the banks. It works with the banks. So you can trade from 10 o'clock on a Sunday night, that's the beginning of the week, to the end of the week, just Friday, 10 o'clock at night. Why? Because you have a market in Australia that opens at 10 o'clock at night on Sunday for us, which is kind of morning time for the Australians. And then New York closes on a Friday night at 10 o'clock, which is 10 o'clock for us and 5 o'clock for them. So the fiat currency market, you can trade in 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. But crypto is not regulated. It doesn't work. It's not owned by the banks. So you can trade crypto 7 days a week, guys. So even if you said the only time I can do any trading is the weekend, well, unfortunately you can't do Forex then because the banks are closed, but you can trade crypto. And crypto is great for trading. Even though the prices are low on crypto, they are volatile, they move, and any movement is what creates pips, and you basically place money on pips. And the more pips you get in the direction of a positive upward buy or a downward sell, because you make money when the market's up and you make money when the market's down with trading, you can make money. With investing, it's different. You put some money and you wait for the asset to grow, and you wait a period of time when the price is more than what you paid for it, you take that profit. But with trading, you can make money on the price when it's high, you can make money when the price is low. So markets crashing is generally the time when most people make money in trade, or most traders make a lot of money. So here's a tool. So we've looked at the education side, we've looked at IML Academy, and we've looked at the IML TV. So now you've got something called the Harmonic Scanner. Now, I have been told by many people who are using this, and here's an example. I know a lady who's got a $2,000 account. Okay, look, that's quite a high number, I know, but she's got £2,000 she's invested into a broker account, which is in her control. And, she's using this tool to make 3 times that a month, so 6,000 a month. And, it's great because it scans the market. You don't have to know anything about chart analysis, but you can learn that, of course. You've provided all the info, so where you enter the market, where you need to put your protective stop loss, and where you're going to come out of the trade. All of that's provided for you. And, it's privately owned software. It's owned by the company, as we said earlier. But here's the thing, it's got a high accuracy confirmation. The biggest thing why 90% of Forex traders lose 90% of their trading account within 90 days, like it's a 90-90-90 syndrome, is because they don't know what they're doing, okay? They don't know what they're doing. They don't have access to somebody telling them where the best trade is to come in. This software tells you, and it's got a hugely successful turnaround. And I've been told it's up to 93% accurate. I haven't personally used this because I'm going through the training for it, and I certainly will, because that to me is a cash generator. Okay, this is what it looks like. If any of you there have done any trading, actually, this would have scared me about a month ago, but really, within 2 to 3 hours of doing the education, I understand this. And that's pretty amazing for me, because I don't understand things very quickly very often. But look, this is a sell, because the price of this currency, what have we got here? I think it's US dollar and Japanese yen. The price is going down here. So this is a sell, which means you're here, the market is here, and you want to sell this because you want to bet on the fact that there's going to be lots of pips or these numbers generated going down. Okay, so it's telling you to come and enter the market here. It's giving you an entry price. It's then saying this is where you should take your profit. But look, it's done a TP1, take profit 1, a take profit 2, and a take profit 3. It thinks the market's really going to go a long way. There's a lot of pips there, and if you put £1 a pip, then each of those pips it's moved, you gain £1 every time. But look what actually happened. So this hadn't happened when this software told you that to come and trade here at the letter D. And look what happened to the market. It hit take profit 1. It went past take profit 2 and 3 and some more. Now let me give you a tip. Some people do various trading strategies. And what my son is doing, he'll put 3 trades on. If a take profit comes up 3 times on some software, he'll put 3 trades on. So the first trade he'll cash out here, which might only be a few pips. He'll then cash out his second trade here, but there's something called a stop loss. Guys, the only thing you can control in trading is the amount of money you can lose. And you manage something called a stop loss. If the market moved in the other way, the stop loss would have been somewhere here. I think it's just off the chart, and it would have picked you out. Your trade would have closed and you would have lost a few pips. Okay, but you stand to gain so many more pips. Okay, so what he does is he puts a trade on and takes the first take profit. Then he moves his stop loss to there and takes his second. He lets the trade run. So even if it goes back, he's not lost any money. Okay, and then he keeps moving his stop loss to follow where it's going, and then he just leaves the last trade to run. So he makes money on all 3. That's only if it comes up with 3 take profits. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit into this, but I get too excited.
Guys, don't get intimidated by it, because this is like stuff you can learn very easily. So don't get intimidated by charts and seeing all this stuff. I mean, this is education. This is where you will learn what it all means and how you can actually make profit from it. So I just wanted to
absolutely. No, absolutely. And I knew nothing about that kind of stuff. I was more of a cryptocurrency investor, where I just bought some and left it, rather than a trader. And I'll say something else, you guys. You can trade with monopoly money. So you can open a broker account with what's called demo money, and you can play and you can see if that works for you. If it doesn't, you can talk to us and we can change what you're doing and help you. And you can see if you're starting to make a profit on demo money. And when you're ready, you can put in a very small amount of money. I'm going to show you this very, very soon. So my son uses a web analyzer, okay? And I showed you earlier, he's made in 2 weeks just over £2,000, $2,221 dollars. I do apologize, dollars. Okay, so this again scans the market, gives you very, very high precision trade setups, and you can combine it with your trading strategy. Okay, so you can use this in the middle of the night. You can use this first thing in the morning or after work. He comes back from uni, jumps on for an hour, and makes somewhere between $100 and $250 a night. Okay, it really is that easy. So again, looks very scary. It isn't. This thing just keeps throwing out trades, tells you what to do, and you go to your phone and you enter that information on your phone. It's actually dead simple. And you can try it with a demo account. And now they've got the crypto analyzer, which looks exactly the same, but you can see this was a few weeks ago, and it was telling you to sell, sell, sell every time because Bitcoin was on its way down. But now I'm sure it will be green, so the slide's a little bit old. So the other thing, so you get software that helps you trade, okay? And you also get something called swing trade. So Christopher Terry himself, who's a seasoned veteran and has amassed a massive net worth in trading, talks you through a swing trade. A swing trade is where the market reverses in a big way. So it was on a downward trend and now it's gone up, for example. And Christopher Terry talks you through that and tells you where to enter the market and when to get out. And that's fantastic because you can pick up 300, 400, 500 pips in a trade like this. It can last a day, it can last 2 or 3 days. You just leave it to run. And if you put £1 a pip, that's 300, 400, £500. £10 a pip, that's £5,000 on a 500 pip trade. Okay, so you can make a lot of money. And these guys are just telling you where to enter the market. It's just as simple as that. Now, here's the really, really cool thing. This is your chess moves being given to you so you can be the greatest player in the world at chess. This is Swipe Trades. You basically download an application. It notifies you just like any other application like Facebook, Twitter, or WhatsApp. And you have a look at it, and it will tell you to enter the market or copy and paste, basically, some information from this app into your trading app. The trading app's called MetaTrader 4 for anyone's interest. It's just an app you download for free. And those who are interested in crypto, you might want to get MetaTrader 5. It's, again, just an app you can get from your Apple App Store or the Play Store from Google for Google devices. So no trading experience needed. Well, that's crazy because real traders are sending you, expert traders are sending you trades and you're just copying and pasting them into the graphs. And you can supplement your income here without any experience. So you can start earning straight away. This is where we said you can earn while you learn. This is giving you a fish, okay? So the swipe trades come in, you hit accept, it goes to this screen. When you accept, it doesn't do anything, it just shows you this screen. Here's the information you need. You tap your finger on here, copies it to the clipboard, and you go into your MetaTrader and paste it in the relevant area. And we've got videos that tell you how to do this. We can show you how to do this through webinars. It's just dead simple. Guys, here's the really cool thing. Through swipe trades alone, remember you've got education. You've got 2 lots of software at the moment that is so powerful and make you a very, very decisive trader through the software. These are swipe trades, just another service. And swipe trades alone in January had 1,195 successful pips. Now in January, it's quite low because the market is very, very slow. It takes a while to warm up in February, and by March, the market starts to move, okay? So 1,195 pips. Okay, if you had put £1 a pip, that's how much pounds you would have made. If it was £10 a pip, well, 11,095. So in February, 1,497 winning pips through swipe trades alone. Now, let me tell you, this slide probably needs updating, but in March this year, so just a month ago, the first 9 days yielded 1,055 successful pips. I'd love to get the information for the end of March because there must have been a lot of pips, maybe 2,000 plus. So if you put £1 a pip, that would have been 1,055 pounds in the first 9 days of March. Okay, so training and support, it's all offered in this company. There's an app that takes you through. It's basically a curriculum, tells you what you need to do. But forget all that because we support you. We have a massive support structure within the UK. And when I joined IMarkets Live, guys, there were some 380 odd people. Now there's over 700 in just over a month. This is really booming because people are absolutely coming to understand the power of this platform with all its services. The 7-figure mentorship, as I mentioned earlier, and this is with the likes of Alex Morton, who's a very young man who's very, very wealthy. So how can you get started? I'm going to cut to the chase on this. There's all this kerfuffle. I never oversell anything. I always undersell. So I'm going to tell you straight up, the best thing to do is to try all the services. $250 to try all the services. That includes any taxes. That's about £176 at the moment. That gives you 30 days of access. We can open up a demo account for you and you can play with all the services and see if they work. You don't have to pay any extra for any of these. You just go in and get what's called the Platinum Elite Pack at $250. There are packs for less, but you miss out on things like the swipe trades, having a fish, and then the web analyzer, like what my son's used for 2 weeks and profited over $2,000 with just an hour or 2 a night at the most. Now, here's the great thing. Everyone likes stuff for free. If you could go to your gym and refer 2 people to the gym, you got your gym membership for free, that'd be great. But that's what this company does. It doesn't advertise anywhere else. It's not on television or anything like that. You are its advert. And even if your demo account's making you money, you could show your friends. And if you have 2 people who are interested, you can plug them into a webinar or get them to speak to myself, Victoria, and we could show them what the platform's about, and you would get a free membership. Okay, so now just remember this: when every 3 people, at least 2 are always paying. So refer 2 paying customers, and you got a free membership. So your subscription bundle basically includes everything. So that subscription at $250 includes everything. Now, remember, we talked and we looked at the cash flow quadrant. This is the investor piece that we just talked about. This is where your money is working for you, and you're growing your money. With a very little amount of time, you're growing your money. Okay, and we're going to share with you in a moment how you can, with just 150 or even 130 pounds, start to leverage that into quite a large amount of money very, very quickly. And some of you will be quite shocked. So you can also, remember the business owner, we talked about Mr. Costa, you can become a business owner in this. So if you decide to refer this to a number of people, let's say you refer to 3 people, you can apply to be an IBO. When you're an IBO, you can then start to earn referral commission. So it has a network marketing model. Now, guys, just think about this. You're in the biggest liquid market ever, foreign exchange. Okay, that's where you're leveraging your money as an investor. And then you are in another market here. If you want to be, this is totally optional, guys. You can just be a trader and carry on trading happily and make your money that way. But those of you who want to refer can now access the 180 billion a year network marketing industry as well. So you've got 2 income streams. Remember, the average millionaire has about 4, 5, 6, or 7 income streams. So if you've got your job, you are trading in your spare time around your lifestyle, and you are referring, and we can help you with webinars and all of that, you can have a 3rd income: your job, your trading, and your team building on the IBO, independent business owner side of IMarkets Live. So you refer somebody, you get $35. If the person you referred refers somebody, you get $10. And if they're 2nd generation referral refers somebody, you get $5. But that's nothing, right? That's great. But if you personally refer 3 people, you become a Platinum 150 in this company. And that company pays you now a residual income of £150 a month, paid weekly. Okay, where's it paid to? It's paid to something called a Paylution card. It's a Visa card. It's an online wallet. Your money ends up there. You have a Visa card. You can go and withdraw it out the wall, or you can go and spend it via the Visa, anywhere that takes Visa. Okay, simple. Now, residual income is something that will be earning while you're asleep. So if you have a team of people who are referring the opportunity, and you refer them into the business, then you could be asleep, and that could be happening over the other side of the world, and you're getting an income. Okay, Michael Jackson has a residual income. He's not here, but his family is still earning. I think it's at 70 million a year. He's still getting paid in royalties. Okay, that's a residual income. It's an example. It's a very, very powerful type of income. Okay, so Platinum 150 if you refer 3. Now, if you accumulate 12, okay, that's not necessarily referring 12 people. You could help 3 people, or we could help your 3 people refer 3 people each. You would get 600. You would become a Platinum 600, so $600 a month paid, $150 a week, weekly into your Paylution Visa card. Okay, so just have a look at these numbers. So I personally know a couple. The gentleman's a lawyer, and the lady was an events manager. Lovely, lovely, lovely couple. Who only started this about a year ago, and she didn't want to do anything involving money. Okay, and they have just hit this rank of Chairman 10. They are getting $10,000 a month residual income. Now they trade a fair amount per month as well. So the trading is separate to this. This is residual income. They're getting this whether they get up out of bed or not. Okay, they have a team. So I don't know how many people they referred. They may have only referred 10, 12, 30 people, if that. But the other people who have then referred have created them a structure of 500 people, and they're paying them 10,000. Now, guys, look, this goes all the way to $500,000 payout a month. And I know some of you are thinking right now, how the hell can the company pay people $500,000 a month? They're going to go pop. This is recirculating money. It's a scam. It's a pyramid scheme. Well, it's not, because I'm going to show you. Remember, I said 2 out of 3 customers are always paying. So if you have a structure, like I'm going to show you in a minute, somebody who's at this rank, 2 out of 3 people paying, you've got 30,000 people, that means 20,000 are paying a membership. The membership is about $190, about $135, $140 a month. Okay, if you wish to continue after the 30 days. But most people out-trade that, or they find two people, or they become an IBO and offset it with their monthly pay. Okay, so 20,000 people are paying $190 a month. So 20,000, I'm timesing that by 190 on my calculator. That's 3.8 million that this Chairman 500 personal rank, or people, might be two people, might be a couple, are earning 3.8 million for the company. Of course, the company can pay you $500,000 a month. That's 3.8 million a month that these people are earning the company. So you can see why this is sustainable. And I've checked things like that out, so I'm very, very happy with it. So P150, Platinum 150 is £150 a month. You get that residually paid for the rest of your life if you refer 3 customers. Okay, it's paid weekly at $37.50. Platinum 600 if you accumulate. So you've referred 3, you could help those 3 get 3 each. Platinum 600, $600 a month, 150 a week. And Platinum 1000, so those 3 get help their 3 each, get a few. And soon, before you know it, you've got 30 people in the structure below you. That's $1,000 a month, 250 a week. Guys, now on top of that, I want to just go back to this. So the person who told me about this is connected to a gentleman in the UK who's a Chairman 10, is about to be a Chairman 25, which is a 25,000 residual a month. I know this guy personally, and he trades £10,000 a week as well. So that's £40,000 a month trading, and $25,000 soon to be had anytime now, which is about £20,000, £18,000. So at 40,000 plus 80, 58,000 a month. And this guy had come to this country in 2008 when my business went pop. Okay, and he's only been doing this just over a year, not too much longer than that. And you can meet him personally if you want to. Now, when the couple I told you about went to Chairman 10 2 Saturdays ago, so not Saturday gone, but the Saturday before, they also got a bonus, and this bonus can be paid to them. So they became Chairman 10, which is $10,000 a month residual, aside of their trading. They also receive a bonus of $5,000, and it's going to be paid over 2 months. So for the first 2 months, they'll receive $12,500. Okay, guys, there's quite a lot to talk about there, and we're coming to the end of this. And there's a gentleman called Jason Brown and Matthew Rosa, and these 2 guys in October 23 with iMarkets Live were featured in Business for Home, which is a website that evaluates home-based opportunities. Okay, so it's quite a credible website, and they have rated iMarkets Live as a AA plus business, so a very high rating. And these guys were at Chairman 250, which is $250,000 per month residual income. They hit in March Chairman 500. They are the 2 who are the one and only Chairman 500s at this moment. But this company is breaking Chairman 50s, Chairman 100s. There's a Chairman 100 just the other day. In fact, might have been today in the US. So, you know, this company is real. It's really paying residual income. But it's also got the platform to teach you a skill for life. So what do you get? You get world-class products and education, prestigious leadership. You get a lot of support, etc., etc. And that's iMarkets Live, guys.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, that is basically a model that a lot of, like, many of my sort of wealthy friends and people who are successful, I've been quite surprised at how many people have built it off network marketing or models like this in terms of referral income. It was something I had never done because I always wore this hat as, you know, I'm an entrepreneur, I know how to build businesses, and I spent 6 years trying to raise money. I've raised money for companies. I've seen them go bankrupt, and I started my first network marketing business last year, the first time I did it, and I ended up making about £1,000 a week quite quickly, just from, I mean, within a matter of like 4 months, I got up to about £1,000 a week I was taking out of that business. And so, you know, it's just, I want people to kind of open up their minds of what is possible and what a lot of people are doing. People that you see who have lots of money, and we're investing and we're building businesses, we're building clientele. And even if that's not your forte, it doesn't have to be, because you've got people like myself, you've got people like Harvey who can walk people through and show them not just how to leverage their time better, but learn about finance, learn about how money moves, learn about the economy, learn about how to make 1% a day. I mean, a lot of people lost money by entrusting another company, for a 1% a day return. Now, just doing some trades myself, you can make 10, 15 more, sometimes less. But the point is that we have the power and the ability, but it's all about knowledge. It's all about what you know, and it's all about taking a chance as well. Because, a lot of people, we're all skeptics. Oh, not all, but most people by nature were skeptics. We've resigned to the fact that because our life is the way it is, or because we only earn 40,000 or 30,000 or 20,000 a year, that's how it is. I'm telling you guys, it is real. If you put the time in to learn, you will make money. If you put the time in to build, you will make money, and that's it. And it's not money that you'll just think, oh, well, I've made £1,000. We're talking 5 grand a month, 10 grand a month, life-changing money, which will allow you to provide that level of security for your family and a lifestyle that I believe every human being should have. I don't believe that human beings should be forced into slavery, which I call job slavery, because it pretty much is slavery. I believe every human being should be able to choose what they want to do with their time, whether it is they just want to sit down and laze around, or that they have a passion that they want to follow, or they want to do charity work, or they just want to travel the world. I believe every human being should have that. And as technology increases in our world, it is becoming more possible, and a lot of people are doing it. So if you're on this call and you're not living that lifestyle yet, I encourage you to please, and I'm going to just put up a link now. If you want to sign up to IMarkets Live, there's a link there. You can just click on the link and you can get registered. You'll be plugged into our team. We have a lot of support. So this isn't just you coming in and just signing up. You've got a team. You've got me who will handhold you through the process. Anyone who's trained with me knows what I'm like. I want people to win. I want us all to win, and we become a team, and we build and we make and create change and transform lives, because this is happening. This is real, guys. And you're either gonna you're gonna be a spectator, and you're gonna sit on the fence or sit in the crowd, or you're gonna get in the court and take action and start playing. And I really, really do hope you guys start playing. So I just want to take any questions. If you guys, does anyone have any questions? Oh, Sarah says, could you tell us again what a pip means, please?
Okay, so the pip is basically the amount a currency moves. It's measured in something called pips. Okay, so if a currency goes up, then we'd buy that currency. We just go in, it takes a few seconds on your app. And if it moves a pip up, then it's a buy. And you would put some money on that pip. So the whole point of the pip is to earn your money, whether the market goes up or the market goes down. So the graph that I showed you had some numbers down the side, and there were various pips up and down the side. So I mean, that's a bit. There's one thing I just wanted to say, guys, and we were talking about a job for the future. Forex markets were opened up to people with less than a net worth of 500,000. Before, you had to have a massive amount of money to come into Forex markets. Now, I personally believe, and Victoria, I mentioned this to you, that I think the Forex markets have been opened up for us, basically, because it's going to be the job of the future. Now, that's what I believe. Yeah.
It really is. And I'm telling you guys, I mean, I have banking friends, like people who have worked in banking for 30, 40 years. And this is what they always tell me. Trading is going to be the job of the future. People will always trade. There'll always be some sort of exchange. And the path to wealth is about money. Money's like a flow. Money flows. And in order for you to get into the flow of money, you need to be in that circle. So $5.3 trillion are flowing into a particular space. You just need to position yourself in that space and take what you need and go about your business. And that's basically what trading is. There are days when you're going to make, there's days when you might not make as much, but because everything is ebb and flow, every day it's going to go up, go down. And like what Harvey says, is you're going to make your money on the points of when it goes up, well, both points, when it goes up and when it goes down, by using tools. Kwabena says, how do you manage the taxes on the money that goes straight onto the Visa card? So you're not taxed on Forex, are you? Or are you?
Well, with that one you are, because Forex trading itself is tax-free. It's basically spread betting, and betting is not taxed. Now, you need to read up on this or what your personal situation is. If your primary income, your job, is higher then what you're making in Forex, your Forex is tax-free. But do read that and talk to us, okay? So we're just keeping it very general at the moment. It's a tax-free income. Now, the business builder side, okay, is taxable. Your wallet is in America, it's online in US dollars. So you would ideally have to disclose that to the taxman. Unless if the taxman found out, then you could be in trouble. But I'm not a tax advisor, but I know people who can help you there, and we can certainly point you to the legal section on IMarkets Live as well.
We can keep you informed in that, guys. Sarah says, thanks. Is there any other questions? Or, is there anything you guys aren't sure about? So just to reiterate, so you can be just a trade. And I think a lot of people may want to just try the software, try the services, get plugged into a team, get a mentor, get trading, get your account set up, start making some money, even get a demo account and just start learning some of the basic language. I'll be honest, I did the education program and I was kind of blown away. I know a few people have done education with me on the cryptocurrency. This stuff that they've put together is absolutely amazing. You're going to learn from the history of banking. I talk a lot about the banking, the Bretton Woods Agreement, how money was created, all this stuff that, we were never taught in school. And there was a reason why you was never taught in school, because you was taught to be an employee. That was the whole job of school. So you would be an employee, not an investor or not a big business owner, because that wasn't for us. But obviously times have changed, technology's come about, we've got all this information, we've got these tools, now we can. So guys, I really want you to take this opportunity to do something. If you're on this call and you really want to make a change, you want more money, want to be working less hours, you want to quit your job eventually, learn to trade, learn to invest, and also learn to build a business. Learn to build
Absolutely.
a business. If this is the environment that you've got seven-figure earners, you've got network marketers like I'm not a network marketer, but network marketers and business owners and consultants and trainers like myself. And if you want to do something like that, if you want to train people, if you want to do webinars, some people will or won't, but it's all possible for you, and you have us as a team to support you on that journey. Okay,
Victoria, there's one more thing actually. What we said to everybody, that we were going to show them something really amazing. So if you didn't think that was amazing enough, I'm going to show you something. Okay, guys, I'm going to ask you a question. Have a think about this. If I gave you £1 million, I wish I could, but let's say I give you £1 million today, or I gave you a penny that's going to double every day for 28 days, only 28 days, so a lunar month. So £1 million right now, or a penny that's going to keep doubling every day for 28 days. What would you take? Have a think. I think most people say they'd take the £1 million. Okay. There's something called compound interest. And Einstein, I think, said, compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. Those that know it earn from it, and those that don't pay it. Okay. So compound interest, if you double a penny, so that's £100 interest every day, it becomes 1.34 million after 28 days. So what happens, that penny is quite low. So it's just a penny, then it's 2p, then it's 4p, then it's 8p, 1632. But then after a period of time, around about the third week, it starts to skyrocket upwards and goes vertically. So when it gets to 500,000 on the last day, 600,000 on the last day, it becomes 1.34 million. So it just doubles, yeah? Now, what I'm going to show you, what we're going to share with you, is for as little as £130 investment, how you could make potentially, if you stuck with the plan, £40,000 plus, okay, in as little as 60 trading days. So I'm going to share something with you guys, so just watch this for 5 minutes, okay? So like the penny, it takes some time to grow and then really take off. If you earned 10% a day, okay, on an investment of £150, okay, which is $200. Now, the reason I said 130 is you can open a broker account. I always recommend play with demo money first, but you can open a broker account with a broker in the UK. Will give you £20 for free to trade with. You then, $200 is 150 odd pounds. So you've got £20 anyway. You need 150, you add another 130 into it. Okay, here we go. So we have a 6-figure a month trader. And this 6-figure a month trader, I've got the video here. If you decide to come on board, we'll send you this video. This is on top of all the services that IMarkets Live gives you. This is our special thing that's going on in the UK, why we are growing exponentially in the UK at this moment in time. Okay, so we have this gentleman. He earns 6 figures a month. Okay, so $100,000 plus a month. And let me just get the editable version so I can change the figures and just show you. Okay, so you start with a balance of $200 in an account that you access. Okay, only you have access to it. It's a broker account.
You can't see your screen if you are trying to share anything.
Oh, I apologize profusely, guys. I'm just being myself. Maybe it's that glass of red wine. Sorry, that's my daily ritual, guys. Is a nice glass of Merlot Italian wine every night.
Guys, this is basically a blueprint, by the way. So I just want you to. This is a strategy, a trading strategy that you will be taught in this program. So yeah, just go ahead, Harvey. Show them.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So now, if you start with a $200 balance, okay, so that's what you put into a trading account. It's about £150. Okay. And the first day, you're looking to grow it by 10% every day. So the first day, 10% of 200 is going to be $220. So you're looking to make $20. And then it becomes the next day, if there's 220 in there, you've got to make 22, or you've got to get around about there. Now, the strategy here is not to get greedy. And our 6-figure trader friend tells you not to get greedy. If you make more than 20, that's great. And you won't know how to trade if you're not a trader. I certainly don't know how to trade by myself. Well, this trader sends you his signals. He trades over 100,000 a month. He's going to send you his trades, and he wants you to profit from his trades. Now, he puts larger lot sizes on, so each pip, so price in percentage, that's what a pip stands for. Each pip, he probably puts £1,000 on a pip. Okay, so if he gets 10 pips, that's £10,000 a trade. But we're putting very, very small lot sizes. Look, we're putting 13 pence or 13 cents a lot size. So he's told us, this may make no sense to you now, but look, this is all I want you to understand is it goes from 200, and after 60 trading days, remember weekends, there's no trading. And remember, 60 days without weekends is about 3 months. But let's say this takes you 6 months or 8 months or even a year because you miss a few days here and there. Some days you lose a trade or two. Okay, look what it gets to in 60 trading days, 10% a day. Gets to $55,000. Add the 5,000, which is 10% for that day. You've got over 60. You've got 60,000 plus dollars, about £40,000, starting with £150 investment. Guys, everything here is worked out for you. If you say, well, I want to start with a little more than 250, you can start with less. Let's just put 50 in there. Let's start with 50, guys. Have a look at this. Okay, the spreadsheet's all dynamic, works it all out for you. You will get access to the spreadsheet as well. This is the trading plan. You can take swipe trades, and you can do that in a separate account with another $50. There's a guy who's got a video on YouTube and tells you how $50 he's made $2,000 in 6 weeks. I know it sounds crazy. It's all possible. You just need to understand the process. Look, it becomes 13,000 plus about 1,000 here. So $15,000 it becomes there. Okay, which is about £10,000, £11,000 with just 50 after 60 trading days. So this is why people in the UK and worldwide have started to join with us. And this is why I think, Victoria, you were really impressed by this. I think you were quite caught with all the, quite impressed with all the platform offerings. But I think this was the icing on the cake for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Because again, this strategy is something you can do with your team. It's something you can implement yourself. And, we've had a lot of people that have lost money, in trusting other traders to trade and, make 1% or 2% over. And this is just something you can do where the money is in your account. You are taking responsibility. You are being accountable, and you're able to follow a simple strategy. But not only that, get the trades as well. So you're not having to figure things out. You're just having to copy and paste your trade transactions, and you're making your profit. And the thing about this, like anything, it's like going to the gym. As long as you consistently, you make a bit of profit every single day, you can take a small amount of money and by compounding, make a huge amount at the end of the term. So I highly recommend anybody who wants to make money, anyone who's serious about learning how to invest, because this is it. This is what investors do. This is what the 1% do. Whilst you're on employee and self-employed side, there's a small percentage, and as the world is changing, more people need to be moving to the other side, so you will have that quality of life as jobs will continue to go. So, I mean, Harvey, thank you so much for the time you spent, and for everyone who's still on the call. I can see there's like 9 of you still here, which is really good. I appreciate you coming to the end. So we will send you a what was it, Harvey, that you wanted to send? What we had to give?
It's a fantastic book from a fantastic trader. Now, trading is 90 or 80% mindset, just like going to the gym is 70% in the kitchen. You've got to control your diet. Trading, it's simple. You press buttons. Okay, you're going to win. You're going to lose some. You're going to win. But if our tools, software, and signals can help you be profitable, and this 6-figure trader can give you his strategy, you can follow it, you're going to be profitable. So we're going to send you a PDF, a book. It's a great book, a fantastic read. So I don't know how you want to do it. There's people on this call. You need to grab their email addresses and.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be able to. I can see on this stats and analytics.
Okay, yeah. Analytics. Yeah.
Yeah. See, again, technology is so easy. I can weed out the ones who left early and the ones who stayed, who get the reward. Clearly, you guys have obviously got. So I hope you've got some value from this, and I really do hope that we all can build something together, transform whatever situation you're in, whether you want to leave a job, whether you want to buy a new house, whether you want to buy a new car, whether you want to travel the world. We can support you on making money online, making your money make money, and also building a residual income if that is, again, something you want to have. Okay, so
guys, can I just say one thing, just very quickly? Guys, I'm going to be 50 next year. I've had a lot of experience in technology. Even I know that my sector is at risk, okay? And technology is what's kind of taking other people's jobs away. But here's the thing. Is this a scam? No, the money's in your control. What's the risk? It's £176. It gives you access to the education. If at least you watch some of the videos, you're going to have a good grounding in Forex. Where's the risk in this? There is no risk, okay? The money is not tied in, and you're working in the same markets the banks are working. What is it offering you? An advantage in terms of software and professional traders sending you trades. Just copy and paste them in, and you can be profitable. But start off with a demo account so you can see your profits. Because when I first put my first trade on, I picked the wrong currency pair. My son did the same, but he's now trading in, this will be 3 weeks tomorrow. He's in the first 2 weeks made 2.2 thousand. I think he's at about 2.6 or 2.7. He hasn't traded a lot because he got exams. But there we go. It's as simple as that.
Brilliant. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much, Harvey. We really appreciate your time. And
my pleasure.
Oh, Marva says, hi, the click says that the page does not exist at the moment. Okay, so let me just try that again, guys, so you get the offer. I will just try and make sure that is correct. But I'll also send everybody a copy of the link and the offer via email. Okay, I see why. Yeah. So that's fine, guys. I will send you guys the we'll just put it up again really quickly. So if anybody wants to sign up now, you can get plugged in. You'll literally get access. So you can start the train. I'll get on a call with you, or Harvey will get on a call with you. We'll walk you through getting you set up and ready. And you can be up and trading by tomorrow, you know? Yeah. So
totally, with a broker, a demo account. The other thing is, guys, Victoria, I think the best thing is if somebody is looking to sign up with that link, to maybe speak to you so you can tell them which process to follow, because there's 2 processes. You don't become an IBO. That's when you have 3 people. And guys, because of the structure, when you get 3 people at the top and the volume starts to build underneath, speed loves money, money loves speed. So if you're interested, don't hesitate. It's £176.
Okay. Yeah, guys. I have to check out the link. It's broken at the minute, but I will send everybody an email pretty much straight after this call. I'll get you, if you want to sign up and get registered, or if you want to arrange a call with me as well, we can sit down. And if there is an interest, let's have a conversation about it. And yeah, we can go from there. Brilliant. So thank you, everyone. Much love. And we will speak to you all soon. And thank you, Harvey.
Thank you. You're welcome, guys. Thank you, everybody.